Namaste everyone. In today's video, we're going to focus on Muni Patanjali's Yoga Sutra 3.23. Now this is a particularly short and compact sutra which talks about one of the powers or vibhutis that a yogi achieves or receives when concentrating on a particular emotion. So let's get into the sutra, start understanding it word by word and comprehending its entire meaning. So the sutra itself goes, Maitraya Dishu Balani. Alright, so this is the sutra itself. Now let's start to understand each of the words carefully. The first word over here is a compound word called Maitraya Dishu. Now Maitreyi, if you remember from Sutra 1.33, refers to friendliness. And Adi here, which has been put within Maitriyadishu, the Adi here refers to etc. or such other things or related things. And Dishu refers to plural in terms of just focusing on that thing or in that. Alright, so here Maitriyadishu is referring to Maitri, the quality of friendliness, and any other such qualities that are being focused upon. And finally, the next word here is Balani, which means Bala means strength. So it can also refer to a strength or a power. So very short and very straightforward sutra over here. It's basically telling us that if we focus on qualities and emotions like friendliness and any other such positive emotions, we can generate a kind of power through them. Now this is the basic meaning of the sutra, but let's dive a little bit deeper and try to understand what does this mean and how does this power actually manifest itself. Alright, so what this sutra is trying to tell us is that through certain concentration upon things like friendliness, we can actually cultivate that sort of friendliness or universal friendliness within ourselves and almost utilize that as a power. Now this can be both a good and bad thing depending on how we utilize it. If we utilize it in a selfish way, it can be used for worldly purposes such as getting people enticed or making people feel like we're irresistible almost in a way through friendliness, through attraction, through love, etc. But this is how it could be used in a very selfish way, trying to attract the friendliness of another person towards us. And it has also been said by a lot of commentators in this sutra that if a yoga sadhak, uses this in a selfish way, they will attain obviously what they're looking for because they have now been able to do such a deep concentration on friendliness, they almost embody that quality. And in other people's eyes, they seem warm, friendly, approachable. It's almost like people can't, hold back. Even if people initially maybe had their reservations about a particular person, over time that person is able to break those barriers because of their concentration on the friendliness or the emotion of friendliness. And over time that person will just completely adopt them or give in to them or, reciprocate that feeling. So this could be used in a negative way and it has been warned against doing so, that we need to be very careful. As the Spider-Man quote goes, with great power comes great responsibility. And so it's very important that if a yoga sadhak is able to do this, it should not be used for these kind of selfish purposes. Instead, if this power becomes a possibility, it can be used in a way to create a sense of universal brotherhood, love amongst communities, and to extrapolate that power into other people and make the whole environment sort of harmonious. So a lot of saints or people who are of the spiritual lineage are believed to be able to do that, whether consciously or subconsciously. That's why they're able to gather such large followers who follow them for their love, for their teaching, for the warmth and the friendliness that they embody. And then over time, from that, an entire community develops around that person. And it kind of becomes like, bees to the queen bee, where they kind of just really enamored, but mostly respectful and creating love for each other as well as the person who may have concentrated initially on that emotion of friendliness. So somebody like Mahatma Gandhi may also be a good example of somebody who was just able to lead a large crowd and evoke that sense of like friendliness, compassion and devotion towards him and also other causes. So this is how one can kind of work towards this. But from a yogic standpoint, this is not something we want to, utilize for our own welfare. Only if the universal welfare requires it in an unselfish way, then we can do it. But the best is, again, to become aware that, hey, I can do this. I have such a strong mental capacity of concentration that I'm able to even concentrate on these subtle qualities and like really cultivate them to such a large extent. But that is not the main agenda. The main agenda is to move towards Sanyam and to keep moving towards Nirbija Samadhi and Kaivalya. So again, very important to not get overly taken by this power and to continue walking forward on the path. I will also say that some commentators have translated the sutra, since it's saying Adi, which means etc. They also assume that it's closely linked with Sutra 1.33, where we were introduced to concepts like Maitri, Karuna, Mudita and Upeksha. However, the commentators that we follow from Kaivalyadhama and the book that we refer to does not prescribe to that viewpoint too much, and it believes that that was a separate sutra. It wasn't necessarily just the Karuna, Mudita and Upeksha, but it could be any qualities in the realm of friendliness, creativity, love, positive traits that can be identified that a yoga sadhak can concentrate on. So this is what the Sutra 3.23 is trying to tell us. I hope you found this to be an informative and helpful video. If you have, please feel free to leave your thoughts and comments in the comments box below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel as we release new videos every week. Share this video with your friends and family, especially those that might be studying yoga philosophy or the Yoga Sutras. And we look forward now to seeing you in the next video or in the next class, course or workshop, the links for which are in the description. We're going to see you soon in the next one. Until then, take care, keep practicing, and we're going to see you in the next one. Namaste.